There's something the universe wants you to hear, something that has been lingering in the space between thoughts, waiting for the right moment to reach you. Someone is trying to connect with you, sending out signals, whispering wishes into the void, hoping they will find their way back to you. This person is thinking about you, reaching out in ways they may not even fully understand. In the past, they allowed outside opinions to shape their decisions, letting fear of judgment dictate their path. But something has shifted. They are beginning to trust themselves more, listening to their intuition instead of following a script written by others. Their connection to the divine, to the mysteries of existence, is evolving, and whether you realize it or not, you are a part of that transformation. This person is calling out, not necessarily through words, but through energy, through longing. Maybe they are praying, maybe they are simply wishing, but there's a deep desire to let you know how they feel. They want you closer, even if they don't know how to make that happen. Their energy is dreamlike, full of unspoken emotions. They are manifesting a reunion, hoping that the universe will guide you back to them. What they feel is not a passing thought, it's something they have reflected on deeply. They have envisioned it over and over, letting it play out in their mind like a scene they are too afraid to step into. Their dreams are filled with you, replaying moments from the past or imagining a future that they haven't had the courage to pursue. They are someone who finds it easier to fantasize than to act, lost in their own emotions, hesitant to take the steps needed to turn their dreams into reality. Communication has always been easier for them from a distance, their messages, their screams, through carefully crafted words. But when it comes to standing in front of you, speaking their truth, fear holds them back. They worry about timing, about whether they are ready, about whether you are ready. Yet, no matter how much they hesitate, their mind keeps circling back to one undeniable truth: they want a second chance. The desire is there, burning quietly beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to rise. They don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past, but they don't quite know how to step forward either. All they know is that if they don't say something soon, they might lose the chance to say it at all. This person has carried their emotions in silence for too long. There have been countless moments when they wanted to reach out, when their fingers hovered over their phone, when they started typing a message only to delete it, when they rehearsed conversations in their mind that never made it into reality. The fear of vulnerability, of being exposed, of saying too much or not enough, has kept them trapped in hesitation. But the truth is, they have never stopped feeling. They have never stopped wanting to bridge the distance between you. No matter how much time has passed, no matter how much they tried to convince themselves otherwise, their heart keeps pulling them back to you. They have always been a dreamer, someone who lives more in their thoughts than in their actions. It has been easier for them to imagine the perfect scenario than to take the risk of making it real. But lately, they have started to realize that dreams alone are not enough. Something about the way they see love has changed. In the past, they might have sought connection to avoid loneliness, to fill an emptiness they didn't know how to face on their own. But now, they understand that love is not just about finding someone, it's about choosing them, about showing up, about being honest even when it's difficult. And that's what terrifies them the most. Because with you, it was always different. The connection you shared wasn't just another fleeting experience. It wasn't something that could be replaced or forgotten. They know that now, more than ever. They have regrets, so many things they never said, so many times they should have been braver, clearer, more open. They think about the moments when they pulled away, when they let fear win, when they convinced themselves that walking away was the only option. And they wonder, did you ever feel the same hesitation? Did you ever stand on the edge of a confession and step back instead of forward? A part of them fears that it's too late, that too much time has passed, that you have moved on, that the door they once walked away from is now locked. But another part of them, the part that still believes in the connection you shared, refuses to give up. Because deep down, they know this isn't over. They want to find a way to tell you. Not through a text or an email, not through distant words on a screen. They want you to hear them, to feel the weight of their voice, to understand that they mean every word. They don't want to hide behind old habits anymore. They are ready to step forward, even if they don't quite know how. They are ready to stop letting fear hold them back. And if there is even the smallest chance that you still feel the same way, they are willing to take it. Chapter 3. Facing the past. There's something this person hasn't been able to escape, the past. It lingers in the spaces between their thoughts, in the quiet moments when they're alone with their memories. They replay the decisions they made, the words they left unsaid, and the way they walked away without fully explaining why. At the time, leaving felt like the only choice. They were afraid of the intensity of what they felt, afraid of commitment, afraid of the way you made them question everything they thought they knew about love. So they convinced themselves that distancing from you was the best option, that they needed to go off on their own path, that they weren't ready. That now, after all this time, they see things differently. They understand that what they were running from wasn't you, it was themselves. It was their own fear of being truly seen, of being vulnerable, of risking their heart. And in the process, they hurt you. They know this now, and it fills them with regret. Because while they were off trying to figure themselves out, you were left behind with unanswered questions, with confusion, with pain. And even if you've healed, even if you've found peace, they know that what they did left a mark. They wonder if you ever think about them the way they think about you. If you ever hear a psalm that reminds you of them. If you ever have those fleeting moments where a memory comes rushing back, unexpected and uninvited. For the longest time, they avoided confronting these thoughts. It was easier to push them aside, to pretend they had moved on. But the universe has a way of bringing unfinished stories back around, of making sure that the things we leave unresolved eventually demand to be faced. And that's exactly what's happening now. This person is no longer content with just wondering, with just regretting. They want to make things right. They want to be honest in a way they never were before. They want to step out of the shadows of their own fears and finally give this connection the attention it deserves. They know it won't be easy. They know that facing you means facing everything they've been avoiding, the pain they caused, the words they never said, the vulnerability they tried to escape. But they're willing to do it because for the first time, they understand what's truly at stake. They don't just miss you. They don't just want to reconnect. They want to rebuild. And that starts with finding the courage to finally speak their truth. As much as this person wants to step forward, there is still hesitation. The fear that once held them back hasn't completely disappeared. It lingers, whispering doubts into their mind. What if it's too late? What if you've moved on? What if you don't want to hear what they have to say? These thoughts run through them constantly, making them question whether reaching out is the right thing to do. But at the same time, the thought of staying silent feels unbearable. They spent so much time avoiding this moment, trying to convince themselves that they could let go, that they could erase the feelings they've carried for you. But the truth is, they never stopped caring. There is something about you, something different, something they haven't been able to find anywhere else. And no matter how much time has passed, no matter what they've tried to distract themselves with, that feeling remains. And now they're at a crossroads. A part of them wants to take the easy way out, to keep their emotions hidden, to leave things the way they are, to never risk rejection or disappointment. But a stronger part of them knows that they can't keep living with the weight of regret. They want you to know that they still feel something real, that their silence was never about a lack of care, but about fear. That every time they distanced themselves, it wasn't because they wanted to, that because they didn't know how to handle the depth of what they felt. They also know they made mistakes, that they were unfair to you, that they let their own fears dictate their actions instead of being honest. And now, more than anything, they want to make up for that. But this isn't just about them. It's about you. About whether you are willing to listen. About whether you still feel anything at all. That's why they know that when they finally reach out, it won't be through a simple text. They need you to hear their voice, to understand that they mean every word. They need you to know that this isn't just a passing thought. It's something they've carried for a long time. They are preparing themselves for this moment, gathering the courage to finally face you. Because despite the fear, despite the uncertainty, one thing is clear to them now. Losing you forever would be far worse than any rejection. The moment is approaching. They can feel it. The hesitation, the doubts, the fear of what you might say, it's all still there. That now, something stronger is taking over. The need to be honest. The need to stop running. The need to finally say what has been left unspoken for too long. They've replayed this conversation in their head 1,000 times. Imagined what they would say, how you might respond, whether you would welcome them back or simply walk away. But they know they can't control the outcome. All they can do is show up, with truth, with vulnerability, with a heart that is finally ready to love without fear. For so long, they held on to the belief that they weren't ready, that they needed more time, that they had to become someone different before they could deserve you. But now, they see things differently. They don't need to be perfect to love you. They just need to be real. And the truth is, they love you. They always have. Even in the moments when they convinced themselves otherwise. Even when they pushed you away. Even when they tried to erase you from their thoughts. But love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice. And this time, they're choosing it. They don't expect things to go back to the way they were overnight. They don't expect you to forget the past or to open your heart without hesitation. But they're willing to do the work, to show you that they've changed, to prove that this time, they're here to stay. This isn't just a fleeting impulse. It's not just nostalgia. It's real. And now, the only question left is, are you willing to listen? The universe brought this message to you for a reason. If it resonated, if it stirred something inside you, then maybe it's time to open your heart to what's possible. If you believe in second chances, if you believe that love can fight its way back even after everything, let me know in the comments. I am open to love again. Like this message, share it, and subscribe for more. The universe is always